Well, I'm having transmission issues. I believe the rear clutch pack is gone on it. It's having trouble going into reverse and high gear, which is third. So I'm getting ready for surgery. I can't stand rebuilding transmissions, but I've rebuilt several because I simply don't have the money to pay somebody else to do it. And on an antique car, I don't trust anybody else to do it, especially in this town. It's hard to find anybody still alive or in the business that's current that knows anything about antique and classic cars. So I have all the manuals, and I've got about 4 different transmission rebuilds under my belt so far. So I guess if you want something done right and affordably, do it yourself. So let the fun begin. I need to film this stuff before I take it all apart. This went here, goes to that, and then there's a hole under there. Get off. Oof. Oh, nasty. Yeah, I think it's time for a overhaul. So that went from there to there. Look at that. Whoops. This goes in there, and that goes in there. I'm going to have to take these loose next. Don't quite have enough clearance to pull that out. Okay, so these are out. This stuff's all together. This has to go that way. Disengage. Something fell inside the case. What is that? Oh, okay. That operates the... Oh no, it's falling in further. Need a magnet. No, damn it. Ah! I'll have to retrieve it later. Nope, it's a goner. Damn it. Well, guess I'll be going after that later. And this got to come off. Okay, so take that off. Goes with these screws, the bolts. But that'll just should pull out. Take this off. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. The valve body. Hardware for the valve body. That. Parking brake paw. Okay. Oh, this looks like this is fun to remove. But do I have to remove it? I think that other stuff will slide out. I'll have to pull this stuff out. Well, I got to inspect it anyway, but that bolt is underneath. So you got to pull these spools, I believe. Been a long time since I messed with the transmission. Oh yeah! right in the gut. This. Not sure what the hell this is. It's interesting. That just went on there. Guess that was everything. I'm gonna pull this out. Hopefully it's not. It's a little scratchy. Not horrible. Okay, I gotta pull that out. Okay, got that part off. It's bagged. Take the big servo off next. It's for the reverse band, and I don't know if that's kicks in just for reverse. I know the clutches operate reverse and high. I think that's for reverse. I don't really remember. See some material left on that front band, so I hope the back ones is, you know, in good condition. So I might luck out because these aren't available. I would have to send these out to, I don't even know who to send them to have them relined. But somebody's been in this transmission before. Some stuff got banged up. Boy, good dinger. One of these washers was missing, so this thing's been gone through before. The car was supposed to have 37,000 original miles, so I don't know if that's a load of bullshit, if I got taken or not. I don't know. I found also traces of Bondo on the car, so I think it's a lie. I think it's been repainted, old repaint. Transmission's been worked on. The engine runs good, so unless they pulled and redid the engine, I don't know if they overhauled the engine or what. It doesn't smoke at all. It runs real nice. And then the side of the block, there's no paint. It looked like it was hot tanked, so I'm pretty sure that this is not original. And the guy that appraised the car too, he got duped. It's hard to catch that kind of stuff, but it's not going to affect what I'm doing at all. I just need the car to be operational so I can have a good time with the old folks. You know, you don't buy a four-door for an investment. These are never going to be worth much anyway, so it is what it is, as long as I can have some fun in it. Okay, I'm taking this apart, but these bolts are different, so I better note that. Look at this. This one's special. Special one went inboard. Come on, baby. Okay, here it comes. Okay, that's got a little paw on it. Okay, so that's what that was for on the other side. That puck that dropped in on the other side, it goes in here. Okay, so that would be out over here. It goes from the outside and squeezes this in. I do see meat on that band. Oh, very good. So this is part of it. Keep that paw with it. Whatever the puck or whatever the heck that's called. And then this is for, works against it like so. And this does the same thing over here, except that one's shaped a little different. So it should slide. So this one, go with this set, and then this, it's kind of in there, isn't it? Come on, baby, come on there. So, well, unless it's really in there, then I'll leave it, but I just don't want it to fall out when I'm working on the rest of the transmission. Oh, okay, I guess it's gonna stay. That's fine. So when I was adjusting the rear band on this, while it was still in the car, that's what the other side of the adjuster looks like. This should pop out. Took a little bit to get it out of there. It was just held in by an O-ring. So that went right there. I'll just group it with this stuff, you know, bag each unit with its respective parts. So hopefully I don't get anything mixed up. There we go. Okay, so that's the front pump. Here's the inside of the pump. Interesting. I don't know if this slides out through the front or through the back. Let's see if it wants to do anything. It's a negatory. Oh. The book I have for this is pretty bad. It's supposedly a Ford manual for the transmissions, and it is just terrible. It's horrible pictures. Doesn't show the complete teardown. Has a few little sections of similar transmissions scattered throughout the book. It doesn't have actual, it has a little supplement for this year of transmission, so it's not much help. You have to use your imagination to fill in the blanks. Okay. What is this? Look at that. Huh. Interesting. Oh my. And those big old screws. This is odd. I don't know what this is all about. Look at that. This thing's counterweighted and rotates. Never seen that before on a transmission, and that little thing, look at that, it goes in and out. It's quite the contraption. No clue what its function is. And this is pretty weird too. Huh, very strange. I think all this shit would slide out. So I don't know if I just got to take those screws loose. So I'll take those screws loose. See what happens. Okay, I figured out why I can't pull this shaft out. All this stuff. This whole part will come out, but there's an oil tube here, so I don't know if I have pliers. It takes a special, the manual calls for a special puller, which I do not have. So I'm gonna have to get in there, grab that tube, and pull it up enough till it breaks loose from the O-rings. So that's what I'm gonna go after next. And this is just for this whole reason that there's even something back here. This is the rear hydraulic pump. Modern transmissions only have one pump, you know, like your turbo 350s and everything like that, and turbo 400s, 727 torque flight. All they would have is something similar to this to run the transmission off the engine. So there really was no purpose in this ever being put on. This is so you can push start the vehicle to start the engine. That's the only reason they put the rear pump on these early transmissions, and you couldn't like push start it by hand. You had to get another running vehicle and push the dead vehicle. You had to get it, I think it was around 25 miles an hour before you're rotating this shaft fast enough that it would run the transmission and turn the converter and everything and lock up to the spin fast enough to lock up to the engine. And so this was probably never ever used, you know, maybe less than 1% of cars would have ever used this feature. So to me that was just a waste waste of parts, time, and engineering. But anyway, I'm gonna pull that out and hopefully I can get all this stuff apart so I can finally get down to the clutches. I'm gonna call it a night after that, but I'm not gonna stop until I get to see if my diagnosis was correct. I'm thinking that the front clutch pack is intact and it's just the rear clutch pack that's gone, and also I'm thinking that the rear band and the front band are okay. Got to remember to put this oil tube back in. Oh, that was messed up. It's for the rear pump. So once that's out, then all this stuff can come out. Let's see how this is oriented. Very important, because it's going to line up with these two passages and tubes. There we go. Pull that out. Looks like there's some seals in there that'll have to be replaced. Some planetary. I think I'm hitting these, trying to pull it out. I'm real nervous about taking these off. If I break these, I won't be able to get a replacement for these, so kind of nervous about that. I don't think I can force it past these. Oh boy. Okay, I got the seal rings off. These are made of metal. I was terrified taking them off that I'd break them, so I'm quite pleased that I didn't do that so far. Hopefully this will come off. Huh. Something just randomly let go while rotating it. I can't explain it. There's still no signs of a snap ring that I can see. Nope, I have no idea why that was fighting me to come out. Okay, let's take a look. Get transmission fluid all over the camera. Okay, Here we go. Nothing special in here. And here's what the other side looks like. The band is in terrific shape. That's good because they're no longer available. So this is just the planetary. So the two packs must be inside here, rear and front. So I gotta keep on going. Okay, so this pulled out of here. Come out of here like so. And at that point is when I pulled this out. Okay. Now I gotta figure out how to get this out. Back to the book. There's some more bolts that hold that center support in. They have a little device to center that support. So I gotta pull that out. And, oh, there's a ID plate. I should see if I can clean that up. The center support, according to my parts book, is from a 58. So I don't think this is original transmission. It's probably a 1958 transmission. So so this car's far from original. Somebody's been all over this thing, so oh well, that's the chance you take when you get a classic car. Ooh, I'll clean it up and photograph it. Oh, there it is. I'll have to see if there's a way to look up the numbers. Or maybe they just replaced that support and left the rest. I don't know. Not really sure what I have on my hands here. There we go. All right. Center support. Okay. Should have the rear clutch pack in it. Oop. These fell out like so. I'm gonna prop those back up in there. The part I lost at the beginning of the teardown. There we go. That's for the front band. So this is the one I'm very interested in taking apart. This is where I'm suspecting the most wear is. Those clutches are burned up and slipping. Okay. So, went in there like that. Well, the transmission would shift once it warmed up and everything expanded. These don't look like they were so hot that they discolored anything. Well, it's not the smoking gun that I was looking for. I'll go look up the specs and see how bad they are. Okay, I'll pull the rest of this stuff out. It was easy enough. And there's these pieces. The washer goes against this assembly. And then there's a special washer here. It's got these flat pieces, and that matches up with grooves in the rear clutch assembly. See if I can get the front band out of here somehow. That's a tight fit. There we go. Looks pretty good. Yeah, there's still material. Grooves are visible, so that is acceptable. You can see how much material is on here. So that's still good. Oops. Oh boy. Who's this? Well, there's still technically grooves. I can catch my thumbnail in there. How all this stuff comes out. Let's see. Okay, so this is interesting. There's a big spring washer in there. So this stuff is like that. Yeah, I don't see a smoking gun on these either. I cannot find a spec on these. The book doesn't tell me what these should be. So I guess I can compare them to the new ones when those arrive in 3 days. It bugs me that I can't find a spec on this. I have the official Ford manual. I don't know if there's any other resource for that. And Google is pretty much useless on this particular model transmission. Okay, I wanted to take the reverse servo apart. It's just a snap ring. There's all kinds of material in here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's from the band. See if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. I don't know what this gray stuff is. Still looking for an obvious cause of my transmission problems, but I haven't found anything yet. So I wanted to see if the O-ring was torn up on the servo. If maybe I wasn't getting full pressure to my band. Guess I should have just taken it apart here. Oh, there's a roll pin right there. I don't think I'll be able to cheat. Yeah. O-ring is intact. It's a little flat. Let's see. Yeah, it still seals. Well, that's not obviously destroyed either. Bag that back up. The last thing I want to check before I call it quits for the day is that there is an O-ring inside this clutch basket that I wanted to inspect. There's a big old spring in here, so I don't have a press to hold this down while I take it apart. Okay, let's see if I eat shit. Woo! Well, this makes me nervous. I've kept my 2 front teeth for this many years. It does explode. Hopefully it'll go that way. Oh yeah! Woo! I have no idea how I'm gonna get that back together. Ah, so scary. Okay, I have disarmed the bomb. That's not good. Huh. Yeah, there is an O-ring in there. It's pretty darn flat. And there's no... Let's see here. I don't know if that was sealing very well. There's almost no resistance on it. That is flat. Let's see if I can get the camera in there, or maybe I can just zoom in. Let's see, I'll try zooming. Oh. Kind of see it right there. It's not really sticking out. It's pretty much flush. I don't think that was sealing very well at all. That might have been a contributing factor to low pressure on the clutches. I don't know. I haven't found anything very obvious at all. Maybe it was a combination of factors. This must be a piston. This must compress all the clutches together. And then the steel plates are, it's like a Bellevue style washer. These are cupped a little bit so that it gives you a spring action to it. I'd like to remove that O-ring, and then I'll be able to see it better. I did break it getting it out. This thing is brittle. It didn't have any kind of sealing action left to it. This thing is old and cooked, very brittle. So yeah, it's also flattened out. So I wanted to take a little more footage. I was editing the clips that I took earlier, and it occurred to me that when I was talking about this brittle O-ring that seals in the middle, well, so this is a piston. Well, how's it seal on the outside? Duh. I neglected to look at this. So with this O-ring out of the middle, there's not going to be any drag on this. So the only drag I'm going to feel is from the outside seal. And boy, is that thing flat. I mean, it's supposed to be flat to a point, but I don't see any protrusion. I don't know if I can catch that on the video or not. It should stick out past the metal. So anyway, I'll throw it in here and oh yeah, this thing, this thing's not sealing worth a darn. It's pretty loose. Most likely the cause of the transmission problem. And the problem got really bad when I changed fluid. I went from type F, I think it had type F in it, to a type FA, which is a little bit thinner, has friction modifiers in it, and then that's when I really had noticeable issues. So then I put a container of that Lucas transmission, rebuild in a can, and it got better. It's some really thick stuff. So I imagine this is where the fluid's been bypassing. I've been losing pressure right here. But when my new clutches and stuff come in, I'm still putting all new stuff in this. I'm not going to take a chance because it's still peeled material off. So I'm going to put my money on both of these, bypassing fluid on the rear clutch pack piston. See if I'm right. There's a little bleed off hole here too. I guess it's, that's engineered in there. I think that's the cause of my problems.